How is everybody doing? Hi there. Hi, I'm Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live alongside Adam Martin, where we cover every WWE pay-per-view post-show to review said show. You'll be catching us coming up on Sunday reviewing Backlash, which we will be talking about today. But for now, this is Wrestleview Weekly. We're going to be covering Raw, Smackdown, a lot of the news that's been going on throughout the week. A lot of stuff involving the greatest Royal Rumble. Lots of stuff going on about that. As well as, really cool match we're going to be watching tonight. Involves one of my favorites, and also one of the favorites from, I believe, Andrew, who follows the show. We are going to be watching from 1991, Big Van Vader against not the great, but Keiji Mutoh. That's right, not the great Mutoh, but Keiji Mutoh. Not in the full getup, but regular Keiji Mutoh. What's fascinating about the match we're going to be watching is that it was taken on a home camera for this match. And this is back in 91. So what's really fascinating is that this match was given 5 stars by Dark Overlord Meltzer himself. But without the power of the internet, this was the way that he watched it. So, yeah, going to be really interesting. I see my camera's kind of juggling in between what kind of light I want. So hold on, let me draw a curtain here. See if that helps. There we go. That'll help a little bit. I first want to apologize to you guys during this show. This morning, while doing some of the household chores here at home, getting clothes out of the washer, putting them in the dryer, my back really grabbed me today. So I apologize if it looks like I grimace a couple of times, but let's just say my back, I'm just going on a personal side note here. My back has been a really big problem for like the past 4 or 5 years. And I've been seeing a chiropractor for the past 1.5 to 2 years regarding it. And basically what's wrong with my back is sometime when I was 18 or 19 years old, I had a impact fall where I landed flat on my ass. Flat on it. Never thought anything of it. Thought it was just a bruise, no big deal. But then as I got older, I threw out my back at work. It started re-aggravating a lot. Went to my chiropractor and found out that, and I'm using a jump drive here as an example, this is how your hips are supposed to be. Your hips are supposed to be in a horizontal line. Well, after looking at an x-ray, my left hip was down 2 centimeters. Yeah, which has been causing all this aggravation, all of this pain. And so for the past 1.5, 2 years, I've been seeing chiropractor to get put back into place, doing a lot of stretching. And so the last thing that I want to be doing is someone my age walking and moving about and being in pain like someone twice my age. So again, bear with me if I grimace a little bit, if things seem out of whack, but show must go on. Also, what are we drinking today? Well, for one, we are celebrating going perfect on the greatest Royal Rumble, going 9-0. 9-0. That's how you bring that record back up. And so we are celebrating with a 32-ounce growler from the grocery store that's just within walking distance of me, from a brew from Full Steam Brewery here in North Carolina of their Scotch Ale. It is a 8.6 ABV, so I may be out of the black label Johnny Walker, but I'm going to have the next cheapest best thing. Oh yeah, good stuff. But yes, we're going to keep that train going with my perfect predictions and try to perfectly predict Backlash coming up this Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. But for the time being, Raw and Smackdown recap, news, some news on the injury front, predicting all of Backlash, and then watching this really, really fascinating Vader Keiji Mutoh match from 1991. So, on with the shows. Hey, look, there's nothing on the screen. And look at that, that's not even updated either. That's okay, we'll just go and take care of that right now so that everyone knows what the hell we're gonna be watching. Big Van Vader versus Keiji Mutoh. I believe, yes, this was from New Japan's G1 Climax Day 3. And where is my trusty list? There's my trusty list. Here we go. Let's see. When was this sucker? It was on August the 9th. Okie doke. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. But hey, as we all know, most streams are never perfect. So there we go. Okay. On with the show. Yeah, look at that. Look at that record. That's so much better of 16 and 11. 9-0 on the Greatest Royal Rumble. By the way, up on top, 45 followers out of 100. If we get to 100 followers, I will watch Wrestle Kingdom 12 for the first time. Never seen it. Can't wait to see it. 5-star matches galore. Blah, 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 blah. If you have any suggestions for matches that you would like for me to check out that are really, really awesome, really, really horrible, by all means, send them to me over on the Twitter, at Doug Wrestleview. Just DM me on there. And yeah, so there you go. Andrew says, greatest house show with a battle royal. Yeah, pretty much. I'll give my take on what I thought the show was like and everything. A lot of people saying it was better than WrestleMania. Oh, I don't know about that. But really, really fascinating show, to say the least. Let's get to the recaps. That's not the recaps. This is the recaps. Let's get that recaps going right now. There we go. That's not the recaps. Dear Lord, I am not functioning well solely because of my back going all out of whack today. Yep, that's what I've been doing all day, is basically reeling from my back. Spent a lot of time in bed or in a chair. So, and I could hardly sit here to take care of this stuff. But anyway, here we go. All the way to the Raw recaps of the Mondays. Yeah, you always know that the Monday Night Raws after the Greatest Royal Rumble are always so wacky and so out of place. You know, you never know what may happen. Well, no, not really. It was in Montreal. So, yeah, Bizarro World Montreal audience going bonkers about everything, trying to make them a part of the show. Not at all like the Saudi Arabia audience, or they were just there to have fun. Trying to have fun. Make it look like they were having fun. Tons of kids in the audience. Something you never thought you'd see at a WWE show. But no, let's bring it back to reality. The WWE shows are supposed to be full of males in their 20s and early 30s wearing black t-shirts, probably Bullet Club tees from Hot Topic, one of their 5 or 6. And they try their damnedest to be a part of the show and not really enjoy the show and just bitch about the show. So here we go. Of course, Roman's going to kick off Monday Night Raw. Surprisingly, it wasn't Kurt Angle. But his music hits, and, you know, he just stands and the boos are thundering, and he says that Reigns, he's not going to make any excuses because there's no need to. They're looking at the real Universal Champion. He says he should be the champ, but he's not yet. A lot of people doubted him, lost faith in him, but he's a man of his word, and he kept his word. He beat Lesnar in that steel cage match. No, Lesnar's body hit the floor first. If it's about feet, nah. Lesnar's body hit the floor. Yeah, there you go. But apart from that, he wants to turn to another man. Samoa Joe appears on the screen, and he says he's just going to beat his ass, and there you go. But also out comes Jinder Mahal. He makes his way down. He can't stand people making excuses for their shortcomings. But in his case, Jeff Hardy cheated, and he's not complaining. Reigns lost fair and square. Backlash, he'll lose to Samoa Joe. Tonight, Reigns will lose to the modern-day Maharaja. But then Sami Zayn's music hits, and everyone's going fucking bonkers. Zayn is better, and he says, and wants to fight in his hometown. Zayn wants to be the one to take on Roman Reigns. A big yes chant starts up, but then Kevin Owens' music hits, and everyone goes fucking bonkers because Canada. Owens puts microphone, says crowd cheers louder, and Owens speaks some French to the delight of the crowd, and Owens says he knows Sammy can beat Roman, but he thinks what people want to see is him taking on Roman. Bobby Lashley runs down for the save, and the three of them try to jump Roman Reigns, and then also out comes Strowman. So we're going to have a big old 6-man tag involving Zayn, Owens, and Jinder Mahal versus Strowman, Lashley, and Roman, because quite frankly, last week's tag match involving Lashley, Strowman, Zayn, and Owens was fantastic. So we pray to have Roman get some of that rub. We can only pray. We can only hope. Roman doesn't have to do much. He just has to be there in the ring, right? And Strowman can take care of the rest. That sounds like the plan to me. Natalya is going to be taking on Mickie James later on tonight. Elias is drinking some special tea from Saudi Arabia, and we'll see him take on Bobby Roode next. Elias is in the ring strumming his guitar, and he says all the stuff there is to say. And then Bobby Roode comes out. They have a match. Let's see. What do we got here? Roode goes for the glorious DDT. Elias gets out. Elias quickly elbows him. Gets him in a small package. And elbows him before sending him face first off the steel of the turnbuckle. Roode clutches his neck at ringside. They check for him. And the result is a no contest. Or basically, Elias wins because Roode can't continue. Yeah, he gets on the mic. He declares himself the winner. And Roode can't do anything about it. But he's selling his throat and not his neck. Sure, why not? Why not indeed? AOP versus some jobbers. You better give those jobbers some bland French names because you're in Canada. Jean-Paul and Francois. Yep, pretty much trouncing right there. Seth Rollins coming out to address the crowd, and he talks about the big travel that he does, going from South Africa to the States to Saudi Arabia and now to Montreal. He thanks all of them, and the crowd chants, "You deserve it." Rollins was thinking about what kind of champion he wants to be going further. Rollins doesn't want to be anything like Brock Lesnar. Lesnar isn't even the legitimate Universal Champion because Reigns' feet hit first. No, sir. No. Lesnar's body hit the ground. That makes him the champion. Then we got Fons Balor. His music hits, and he comes down, and he says hats off to him. And Rollins is talking about being a fighting champion. And he should show everyone he's a fighting champion by putting the title on the line against him tonight. Loud "we." Yes. Chanting from the crowd. Rollins says he's got the Miz at Backlash this Sunday for the title, but they're in Montreal. Rollins asks if they want to see him, and they do. Rollins agrees. They shake hands. Miz music hits, and the Miztourage comes out and says, hey, they want to be a part of the conversation too. They take off their jackets to reveal pictures of them with Rollins and Balor, and yeah, oh boy. Yeah. They want to be the Four Horsemen. Oh, boy. So, we're going to have another tag match, apparently. Lazy booking, I guess. Yeah. Showing footage of Titus O'Neil tripping at the Greatest Royal Rumble. They are milking this thing to death. Really milking this thing to death. Riot Squad coming to the ring, and Ruby Riot's going against Sasha Banks. Yeah. Riot Squad distracts the referee, breaks it up. Riot snaps Banks off the top rope. Banks comes back with the knee. Banks then takes Liv Morgan out with the Meteora from the apron, but Riot quickly takes her out on the top rope and hits a Riot kick for the win. So there you go. I'm getting tired of Sasha Banks. I'm really, really getting tired of Sasha Banks. Alexa Bliss is doing a lot of these segments of Moment of Bliss where she's trying to seem all innocent and everything. She does a really good job at it, but it's only good. It was good the first time around that we saw it maybe 2 months ago. She doesn't need to be doing this all the time. It's really, really getting annoying. But enough of that. Let's just talk about a guy who trips. Yeah. Renee Young is in backstage with Titus O'Neil. He talks about, it's just unfortunate. Things happen. Boy. But then Baron Corbin walks up, says he doesn't know why Renee's wasting her time with O'Neil. God, just wasting time. Still photos are showing of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt winning the titles. Matt Hardy's reading an old book. Hardy says the story has always been told. The vessels known as Bray Wyatt and Matthew Hardy has transcended time and space. They were there at the beginning of history's greatest triumphs, but nothing in history can compare to their greatest victory. Behold, the deleter of worlds. Yay. Footage just shown of Ronda Rousey making the save for Natalya, so we got that. Coming up next, 6-man tag. Oh, yeah. This was almost a blatant replay from last week's fantastic hot tag. Yeah, I gotta tell you, they're trying hard to give Roman a rub of some kind, and it's really, really sad when at almost this point last year, it was Roman and Braun going after each other and hoping that Roman would get some sort of rub from those matches against Braun and winning over Braun to put him over, but apparently that ain't happening. So let's try it a different way. Braun is a bigger face than Roman, so let's see if Braun can kind of rub off a little bit. It's so blatant. It's incredibly blatant. Something's going to happen with Roman here. Something is going to be happening to where I just don't see Roman being a heel, but I do see him just being like, oh, God damn, I just don't care anymore. And just see him doing stuff that a face would not be doing. Like maybe getting frustrated, getting disappointed, taking out frustrations, maybe using a chair when he doesn't really need to. That's the thing I'm looking forward to, is just him taking out frustrations of just not being what he should be. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of looking at here. Coming up later tonight, Seth is going to defend the Intercontinental title against Finn Balor, but coming up is Baron Corbin versus No Way Jose. They have this match. Titus O'Neil comes out. Yeah, this one was kind of interesting. So Titus comes out. Worldwide comes out with Apollo and Dana Brooke in tow. They go to the foot of the ramp and hold O'Neil from tripping down the ramp. Cruz wipes off. He's wiping down the ramp. O'Neil gets to the ringside area without tripping, but then O'Neil gets on the apron and immediately slips off. It distracts Corbin. Jose rolls him up. I don't know. I really don't know about this. It's only going to last for a hot minute. We know that for a fact. But they better not be carrying this on for another 2 or 3 weeks, because it's going to get stale. It's going to get stale quick. It's almost reminiscent of Zack Ryder going off of Jersey Shore. Yeah. It's going to get old. It's going to get old quick. Let's see. But yeah, No Way Jose won that. Mickie James going against Natalya. Alexa Bliss is in Mickey's corner, and Ronda Rousey is in Natalya's corner. Bliss gets on the apron. James chop blocks the knee. Rousey approaches Bliss, and Bliss quickly runs away. Rousey chases her around the ring, but in the ring, Natalya rolls up James for the win. Bliss escapes from Rousey. Rousey helps Natalya to her feet. Bliss stands on the ramp looking. Nia Jax comes out. Bliss runs away again. Jax gets in the ring and poses with Natalya and Rousey. There you go. Commentators are running down the Backlash card. Braun Strowman and Lashley are going against Owens and Zayn again at Backlash. Excuse me. And finally, oh, look at that. Little handheld promo involving Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. McIntyre says when he speaks, it's real, while the other superstars are just happy to be there. They are the two of them that are positive they deserve to be there. Ziggler says if he weren't in this group, he'd be afraid. It's about to get dangerous. They're out there to steal the show. They're going to take it, because they're doing a handheld promo and not doing what they said they would be doing in the ring that night. Yeah. So yeah, sure. Yeah, everybody better watch out for them because they're not there. Intercontinental title match, Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Pretty decent match. Pretty good match on this one here. Seth Rollins picking up the win on this. Lots of counters to counters to counters, but still kept fairly suspenseful. I'm just really having a hard time still trying to buy Balor. It's really, really difficult. But no, it was a pretty decent match. Pretty decent match to end the show. But yep, Seth Rollins retains. He'll be going on to Backlash to face Miz for the Intercontinental title. I guess the only. It's kind of hard to imagine Backlash happening right now without the Greatest Royal Rumble just happening. Only because you got to try to think of Backlash would be happening without that show anyway. Greatest Royal Rumble was more of a promotional show than anything else. It really wasn't meant to further any storylines. It really wasn't meant to further anything that's going on with programs or title involvement. It was really a promotional show of a promotion. We'll just go ahead and put it that way. Don't take any stock in it, but do take stock in my record. Okay. But, yep. So that was the Red Show. 49% of you liked it. 31 in the middle. 20 thumbs down. I can't stand people who do thumbs in the middle. Make a stand. Come on. Choose a side. Okay, you can't just hug around in the middle and be all introverted. You have to pick a side. It's either yay or nay. That's what I say. That's what I always do. It's either yay or nay, up or down. So there you go. That was the Red Show. On to the Blue Show. Oh, hey, look at that. It's the Avengers. I mean, what in the hell is Becky wearing? You know, there are a lot of things that I've wondered in this universe. You know, like progressive what happens over a period of time. How did this happen? You know, like our current state and government, or, you know, how is football now seen as, you know, more barbaric than it used to be when it really hasn't changed? One thing I want to know is what the hell happened to Becky Lynch's ring attire? I mean, in WrestleMania, she was a strip of bacon. Now, I don't know what in the world she is wearing. This is getting weird. This is getting really weird. And the only thing that I can gather from it is that only good people get to show their midriff. But if you're a bad person, you don't. I smell something happening here. But that's just me. I'm just going off of aesthetic observations is all I'm looking at here. All right, so we're still in Montreal for this Blue Show. Show opens with the highlights of the Greatest Royal Rumble. And we start off the day with Ms. TV and Jeff Hardy. On veut Maurice. Chants like we want Maurice. Miz talks about taking Maurice from Montreal to Hollywood to get the crowd going. He announces until further notice Daniel Bryan is officially banned from Ms. TV. Ooh. Oh, that rapscallion. Miz addresses the champ Seth Rollins over on the B Show, and now Rollins has something he wants. He says that Sunday the fans will see an A-frickin' as champion. Introduces his guest Jeff Hardy. Out he comes. We get a reminder that Hardy defends the U.S. title against Randy Orton at the Backlash pay-per-view on Sunday. Offers to shake his hand, but decides not to after Hardy high-fived all the dirty fans in Montreal. Miz insults Hardy right away. Hardy says Miz claims to be so much better than he is, he should have won the Greatest Royal Rumble. Yep. Yeah, he should have. Yeah. Miz has a surprise. Miz TV has another guest, Randy Orton. Orton's theme interrupts his introduction. Orton says, as far as he's concerned, he's cool with Jeff after Miz tries to stir the pot. Miz reminds everyone Orton doesn't play well with others and brings up Orton only landing 9 on the Smackdown Top 10 list. I can't believe they're still referencing this. I mean, they used this as a backdrop for Orton and Mahal to have a program, But now they're still using this, and they're still latching Orton onto this stupid list thing? Well, okay. Orton's pretty sure no one cares about the list. Miz talks about costing Orton a match last week. Hardy disagrees. Miz thinks an RKO should be delivered to Hardy. Yeah. Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things because Randy Orton can only do Randy Orton things. That is correct. Hardy sends Miz to the corner, whispering the wind over Miz. Orton and Hardy stand tall inside the ring. Oh, yeah, and Shelton Benjamin crashed the party, so we're going to have a tag match of Orton and Hardy versus Benjamin and The Miz. There you go. Yeah. Pretty safe to say, yeah. Shelton Benjamin crickets. That's what our reviewer says. Yeah, pretty much. So we have said tag match. Orton and Jeff Hardy win. Immediately after the match ends, Orton hits an RKO on Jeff Hardy. Oh no! Can we see it again? I would like to see it. Whoop! Yep, that'll happen. Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things. Backstage, we see... I'm just going to keep this playing. Backstage, the Bar looking over their new SmackDown Live contracts. They bump into the New Day. Kofi wonders what happened at Greatest Royal Rumble and how they were expecting to head back to Raw. Cesaro says they always wanted to be on SmackDown. Big E is putting baby oil on his chest. They offer a plate of pancakes to Sheamus and Cesaro. They throw the plate. Sheamus wants a match with Big E. Big E gets in his face, fired up agreeing to a match. He was actually talking to Xavier Woods, calling him short and stack. Woods says, "Tonight, your soul is mine." Cute stuff. Rusev and Aiden English are backstage. Camera pans over and Lana is here. Loud Lana chants in the arena. She talks about Rusev coming up short against The Undertaker. Lana thinks something is holding him back, and English returns, saying he forgot his coat. And Lana smiles at Rusev. Oh, God, they're going to break this up, aren't they? Oh, gosh. Big Cass is in the ring, cutting what I think is a fantastic promo and doing the good old bring out the midget dressed as your foil. And I never have a problem with that at all. But Cass knows he's better than every fan in this arena, including Daniel Bryan. He says, Bryan is the same size as any one of you. When you think WWE superstar, you don't think of somebody who looks like one of you. Yep. That's perfect how you can paint that. Perfectly painted. Cass doesn't need technical wrestling to beat Bryan. He wonders why they're even waiting until Backlash and invites Midget Bryan out. Oh, yeah. Good fun stuff. Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura wants an apology, but he doesn't speak English. So how is he going to understand it? Let's see. Introduces AJ Styles. Big reaction for Styles. Young talks about Paige making the champ match at Backlash. No DQ. Asks Styles if this gives him an advantage. Styles says Nakamura can keep on playing games. He calls Nakamura a coward. Then attacks him from behind below the belt. Renee wants to know about that apology. Samoa Joe walks out instead. Yeah, we get TNA chants. Yeah, he's pretty sure the match Styles should be focused on is the one where he proves once again that Roman Reigns is a failure. Joe said that's the same Roman Reigns who failed in Saudi Arabia, and he's fine with the referee's decision to award the win to Brock Lesnar. Joe says Styles needs to make peace with destiny because when he's done putting the big dog to sleep, he's going to beat Styles down for the title. Nakamura's top music hits. Joe turns around to wait for him. Nakamura is inside the ring and does another fist to dick. I love it. I love this fist to dick. I love me some Nakamura, me no speak English fist to dick. It's fabulous. Fabulous stuff. Asuka tells Becky Lynch to forget about last week. Flair walks up and talks about teaching Carmella a lesson in respect. Sheamus versus Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods got the win with this one. Cesaro jumps up. Woods drops down. Big E tried the big ending on Cesaro on the outside, but Cesaro sends him face first into the post. Woods takes out Cesaro at ringside, setting up Sheamus to jump out and send Woods into the barricade. Sheamus tosses Woods back in, but Woods with a small package got the win. Flash pin. Love the flash pin wins. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville walking into Paige's office. Rosa Deville says they're reporting for duty and understand why she called them in there tonight. They want to know who's going to get the title shot. Paige chooses Mandy.
She adds it won't be a title match, though, and books Mandy against Becky Lynch for next week. DeVille says Paige is the GM now and calls the shots. Paige says Absolution is dead. So that's from them. We'll see. I got a feeling maybe a mega faction comes up with Riot Squad or other shenanigans happen. All I know is right now the female roster on SmackDown is deep. Is very, very deep right now. And so changes have to be made somewhere, somehow, to where all of these females are going to be on TV most of the time, but not doing a lot of stuff, whether that be two factions or one mega faction of some kind. But yeah, this is they're very saturated right now. Video airs of Zelina Vega saying Sienna Almas will show up when they want. Yep, that's what they're doing. And apparently XFL, they're pushing it in Montreal up there. There's your six-woman tag. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Asuka versus Carmella and the Iconics. The Good Girls win. Here's a nice little picture of a moonsault. Pretty much. Royce tapped out that Asuka lock after the match. We see a shot of Carmella clutching onto the title. Charlotte Flair looks on, signaling she's going to be taking that title. Yes. So, a lot more people liking this show. 63% of you liking it, but only 75 votes and not the, close to 150 from Monday night. Becky becoming the head of Absolution, that's what I'm kind of thinking right now. There's not a lot going on with Becky. That's why I picked her to go to Raw. But honestly, that's what it's kind of looking like. It's kind of looking like Becky's going to be doing a switch of some kind. When that's going to be happening, I'm not sure. How that's going to be happening, I'm not sure either. And the best way is to make the turn is you turn on a face. So I'm sure we're going to see sometime down the line Mandy Rose and DeVille tagging up against Charlotte and Becky Lynch, and Becky turns on Charlotte. And there you go. That's how I'm figuring that's going to happen. Yep, fantasy booking, do it all the time, do it 24/7. That was Raw. That is not the news. The news is that. The news is right there. Yep, there it is. On to the news. And I want to get a swig of this and Scotch ale to try to numb the pain in my back. There we go. Oh shit! I feel like something needs to pop. Either my hip needs to pop or my back needs to pop. Something needs to pop. All right. On to the news. So this was the Thursday before Greatest Royal Rumble. And Triple H, or Paul Levesque, I know what his real name is. I just like saying Paul Levesque. That's what it looks like to me. They're at the annual Business Partner Summit over WrestleMania 34 weekend. He revealed in a presentation about coming up with the term global localization and how the company wants to create NXT brands around the world. He described this plan as a global territorial system, something the WWE has been considering for over a decade now and never fully committed to. I gotta tell you, smart. Very, 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 very smart. We've seen this in the works for the past 5-6 years, honestly, on our television and through their announcements, doing their tryouts in China, India, pairing up with Progress in UK, Saudi Arabia. They just had their tryouts over there. Everything they're doing with South America is one they're going to be tapping into very, 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 very quickly. You might see a show coming up over there sometime in Rio de Janeiro, maybe. That'd be my guess. But seriously, we've seen this in the making. We've seen this for the past 5-6 years. This kind of territorial system that they control. Can you imagine all of the original programming that they can do from these different areas? The TV markets, the contracts with the television companies there. Holy crap. This is a completely separate revenue system that's going to be coming into the WWE in the coming years.
once this has been solidified. This is a big moneymaker for them. Big, 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 big moneymaker. Can they do it just by those talents that they have in those countries alone? Absolutely not. They need to have rubs from their other talents. They need to have rubs of some kind to make them viable. But the difference is that these territories, these NXT territories in all of these different countries, don't need to involve America. We don't need to watch them. And I say we, I'm talking about America. I'm talking about America, Canada, and Northern American continent. We don't need to watch this for it to be successful. This is all done locally in those markets. This is a lot of money to be had. A tremendous amount of money to be had. Does that mean that now translates into them coming to stateside? Not necessarily. Not necessarily at all. They can stay there locally. They can have their Arabian Championship. They can have their Indian Championship. Their UK Championship. They have already got that. South American Championship. All of this is incredibly fascinating to me and how this is going to build in the next 5 or 6 years. I see this, sure it can be on the WWE network, but it will never be promoted on WWE television. You will never see it on WWE TV. You may see it promoted on the network. However, it's locally. These are new organizations that they are trying to bring up in these countries to grab TV contracts, local TV contracts. Tons of potential. Tons of potential. So don't be thinking that you're going to be seeing commercials for 6 different promotions on WWE TV stateside. That ain't going to be happening. Not at all. And don't be thinking that all of these performers are going to infiltrate your mainstream television in America. No, not at all. This is all local. All within those sovereign nations. Fascinating, fascinating stuff coming up with that. Definitely keep your eye on it, especially, Australia. No, they'll tap into Australia. That's no problem. They'll tap into Australia. One country, though, that I'm surprised they may tap into country-wise, but not the whole continent, is South Africa. They might tap into South Africa, but you won't see them in Japan. They will not go to Japan. They do not want to open that can. They don't want to do that, okay? They cannot afford to do that. And I'm not saying because, New Japan is such a rival. No, it's just because there's no point in going to Japan. There's no point at all. It's not going to be its own thing. It's already meshed up with China. So, I wouldn't be thinking about that at all. You'll see Korea, China, Japan, but that's about it. You're not going to see Japan by itself. They do not want to touch that. That's a market they just don't need to do. It's not necessary. Not necessary at all. Dave Bautista talking about returning to the WWE and the company won't return his calls. Oh, really? Said in a radio interview. Here, I think it was 106.7 The Fan, whoever. Bautista says, despite the interest, WWE and Triple H ignored his calls and texts, and so literally talked for about 3 weeks, and then they just stopped calling me. I sent a text to Hunter. I was like, hey, man, I don't know if you put any more thought into what's going on. I'm really excited about the possibilities, and I literally never heard back from them. They just stopped talking to me about it. Okay. That's fine. Why don't you just concentrate on the really, really good thing you've got going on right now? Why are you opening this up? Why are you doing this? I don't understand. I really don't understand what your end game is with this, Bautista. I don't know what you're really wanting to get out of this. You got plenty of money, you got plenty of PR, your name is out there. I don't know what the hell else you're expecting to achieve with this.
So, honestly, you're not The Rock. Put it that way. You're not The Rock, okay? And you wore out your welcome coming in when WWE had to cater to you coming back and not noticing that Daniel Bryan was molten lava hot. They've already got a molten lava hot act right now that they're brewing with Braun Strowman. They know it. And the last thing they want to do is bring you in to try to not muddy waters, but to saturate. Why? Why would you want to come back? We've already got Bobby Lashley. We don't need another rehash. Sorry. Just don't. Just stop. Just put on your makeup and keep doing your comic book movies. You're making tons of money. Reason I bring this up is the film based on Paige's life has now been delayed. It's supposed to come out this year, but it's now coming out next year. According to a report by Deadline.com, the film was originally scheduled to be released this September, but now has been pushed back to next March. I wonder why. The only reason that I can think of was that, well, the movie, it's originally scheduled to go up against Fox's Predator reboot, Sony's White Boy Rick, and Lionsgate's A Simple Favor. But it can't be because of the competition it would be having if it was released. Let's be perfectly frank. Those promos regarding the movie with Paige saying, "I'm back," scary as fuck. That's why they're pushing it back. Because that will be fresh on everyone's mind when it's released. Just wait until next year. Don't even mention the movie until next year. Don't even mention Paige is a part of it. Seriously. Don't even mention that she's a part of it until the movie has been officially released. Yeah, and apart from all that, yeah, it does look really bad. It should be straight to DVD is what I'm figuring it's going to be. So why was Sami Zayn not at the Greatest Royal Rumble? Why? Why wasn't he there? Well, we got a statement from the WWE regarding that. It says over here, issued a statement to the Wrestling Observer regarding Zayn not being involved on the card yesterday. WWE is committed to embracing individuals from all backgrounds while respecting local customs and cultural differences around the world. Well, we know that. You had the Davaris on there, right? The Iranians? Yeah. So why didn't you have Sami Zayn on there? Well, the reason is a lot of political problems between Syria and Saudi Arabia. Stuff that's deeper than just a Saudi Arabia-Iran competition. There's no political problems between those two nations. Syria, though, that's a different story. That's a completely different story. So, yeah, that's another can that they did not want to open, having Zayn going to the Greatest Royal Rumble. This story got a lot of attention Monday. A lot of it. Well, not Monday, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I'm sorry. Gained more footing on Monday than anything else. But it's with regards to the Saudi General Sports Authority apologizing for the indecent WWE ad at the Greatest Royal Rumble. And the only thing that was indecent about it was that women appearing on it in their attire. They were not performing. They were not doing moves or anything. They were just appearing, promoting that their pay-per-views were now dual branded or promoting other shows that were going to be on the WWE network. So that's what the apology from the General Sport Authority is about. But the apology reads in this. The Saudi Arabia General Sport Authority would like to apologize to the viewers and attendees of last night's WWE event that took place in Jeddah over the indecent scene involving women that appeared as an ad before a segment. It would like to confirm its total disapproval of this in the shadow of its commitment to eliminate anything that goes against the community's values. The authority has made sure to ban showing of any segment that involves women wrestling or any scenes related to it, and stipulated that to the company. The authority also disapproved any promotional stuff with pictures or videos showing women in any decent way, and emphasized on commitment of this rule, and it's a commitment that the authority would still commit to forever in all of its events and programs. And everyone thought they didn't see anything in the stadium, but apparently I guess they did. Yes, they did, because the net... Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's more about the live audience that was there. The ad aired on the giant screens that were there at the stadium. That's what it was, okay? The problem with this, and, you know, here we go. The BBC, Wall Street Journal, and AP have all covered the apology. Paul Levesque defended WWE's 10-year agreement with the Saudi General Sports Authority, noting that he hoped in time they would embrace female talent to be allowed on the card. He cited Saudi Vision 2020 regarding changes taking place within the company right now and the recent change embrace in Abu Dhabi. Yeah. So here's my thing. Here's my take on it. And it has absolutely nothing to do with women. It has nothing to do with differences in culture. It has nothing to do with what the people of Saudi Arabia believe is decent or what they are fighting for in their progressive views in becoming more accepted globally or wanting to become a part of the globe. This is not an argument that is social that I'm making by any stretch. The WWE made an agreement with the Saudi Arabian General Sport Authority on what to do and what not to do. They went against that agreement. They are held accountable. If there are any kind of ramifications from it or consequences from it, they are to take responsibility for it. Go ahead and paint it all you want. Go ahead and paint it that, it's America, red, white, and blue, and we do all of these, and Saudi Arabia is bad because they won't do what we do. That's not the point. WWE signed an agreement. They did not adhere to it. Thus, they are held accountable. I would be really, really interested in finding out not just what they're getting in return from the Saudi Arabian government and sport authority for their show they did at Greatest Royal Rumble, but what the ramifications were for breaking that agreement. It's a 10-year agreement that they signed on, and they already broke it. They already did. This has nothing to do with what's acceptable or what's not acceptable by society's eyes in ours or theirs, or what they should be forced to do when some people don't believe in it. Saudi's statement was to appease religious leaders, but it doesn't matter. The WWE signed an agreement. They broke it. Period. It doesn't matter what leaders they are, whether they believe religious, political, business, doesn't matter. Agreement broken. You're responsible for it. Something's going to happen. Whether it be they never do a show over there again, the Saudi Vision 2020 thing, they now have to break ties with it because it can't be trusted. A lot of stuff is happening with this that has nothing to do with society. It's a business agreement that they broke. So get off the pedestal, get off the podium, turn off your microphone, and look at fine print. That's the story. That's the real story. Okay, so there. Capitalistic scumfuck Doug has spoken. Because that's the thing. Whenever I look at things like this, I always try to look deeper into this, deeper into stories like this, and try not to, immediately steam coming out of ears and to snap judgment. Step back and look at both sides here and what's going on. This is a business agreement that they broke. That's what this is. And they have every right to say it. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what happens because of that breaking of the agreement. But they are going back to Saudi Arabia in November. They are going back. It's not going to be for a Greatest Royal Rumble. It's just going to be for touring. Now, will that be under the Saudi Vision 2020 banner? Who knows? But hopefully they've learned their lesson from this, and that they just keep it. They keep it kosher and do whatever the fuck they say. Drew McIntyre didn't appear at the Greatest Royal Rumble as his call-up to the main roster wasn't planned that far in advance. McIntyre was officially brought up during the shakeup, reportedly didn't have a visa ready in time for the trip. This was a problem with McIntyre long before his call-up back to the main roster. Do you remember the problems he was having with his visa when he was first in the WWE? I really, really hope he gets that shit cleaned up. Okay? It was him and Wade Barrett that I know of that have had visa problems. Okay? McIntyre needs to get this shit under control. Okay? There's no reason for it. No reason at all. Get your passport in check. Figure out where the fuck you are. Do your paperwork. Hire people to do it. Get your family to do it. Hand it over to the WWE and let them do it. Seriously. It's a sign of irresponsibility. And I'm really amped up about this one because, number one, I was really hot on Drew McIntyre when he first came to the WWE, but not having your passport, visa, and everything in check when you work for a global company, how? That shows how irresponsible you are. And here we go again. Hand it over to the WWE and let them do it. Because apparently you can't. And if it was them that was supposed to do it, I don't believe that for a second. Don't believe it at all. John Cena's teaming up with The Rock and his production company. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Yeah, $7 production company, so who'd have thunk it? Found my star, The Rock tweeted. Been a long time coming, and congrats to my good friend John Cena on landing the lead role of our film, The Jansen Directive. And if you screw up, I'm laying the smackdown on you. Yeah, it was all about McIntyre getting into it with his then girlfriend, but whatever. Girlfriends have nothing to do with your passport. After Raw went on the air, Seth Rollins gave a heartfelt speech to the fans. You guys are my family because we're on the road all the time. I gotta tell you, I can't remember if I have it on here. No, I don't think I do. I'm going to have to try to find it for you. Actually, let's do that right now. Let me see. Miz gave a fabulous comeback to Seth Rollins talking about the travel and everything. Let me see. Oh boy, it's somewhere here. I'm sorry. There it is.
Miz, an unfortunate loss for you here tonight.
Randy Orton, hit an RKO, and Jeff Hardy. Miz TV was a success, making SmackDown Live the most must-see show on television.
However, I wanted to take a moment to talk about this Sunday. One of my broadcast colleagues, Mike Rome, had a moment and spoke to Seth Rollins about the crazy schedule that he's been having as the Intercontinental Champion.
Look at that look.
Oh, he has a crazy schedule, does he? Oh, poor Seth Rollins being Intercontinental Champion and having a schedule. Well, that's what I brought to it. I brought the relevance, the prestige, and I brought the hard work. I was the workhorse and still am the workhorse of WWE. We're all on the same WWE schedule. Sorry, Seth Rollins, but the fact is, I'm not only on the WWE schedule, I'm on the MTV Challenge schedule, I'm on the Miz and Mrs. schedules. I have all sorts of things going on in this world that they don't even know about. But the fact still remains that I lost the Intercontinental Championship because of all those things, but one focus and one focus only for this Sunday at Backlash, and that is getting the Intercontinental Championship around my waist once again, and that will happen. Seth Rollins has that crazy schedule. Marine 6, I forgot that too.
That's great stuff. Great reply. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's cute, and he gives the crowd their props and everything, coming to the show, spending the money and everything, but I loved that reply from The Miz to further the storyline. That's great stuff.
Raw exclusive videos. Mike Kanellis gets some exciting news. He kind of found out that he wasn't his departure from the Rumble was not the longest.
Mike, we talked this last Friday before the Greatest Royal Rumble, and your concern was
No, not this again. Not this again. I don't want to talk about the fact that I could have broken the record, or I broke the record, or I don't.
No,
I just.
Mike, you didn't break the record. You didn't break it.
I didn't break the record.
No.
I didn't break the record. I did not break. Did they tell you how long I was in there for? Maybe 3 seconds.
2.49 seconds.
2.49. Yeah. So technically, if you take that 9 and round it up, it's 2.5. 2.5 seconds. I was in the ring for 2.5 seconds. And if you think about it, Daniel Bryan broke a record, and I didn't break a record, and we both got eliminated. So technically, we're on the same playing field. Oh, I did not break the record.
Congratulations.
Yes, I didn't break the record. Come here.
Come here.
Record. Yeah, I didn't break the record.
Come here. Come here, you. Let's see, Seth Rollins talking about the fight ahead, blah, 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 blah. But I thought that was some good, funny stuff right there. I'm liking these offhand videos that they're doing that go along with the show, but I don't know how else to describe it. Sometimes those are way more entertaining than what's on TV. That's for damn sure. Arya Davari says that he's received death threats following the Greatest Royal Rumble. That's no shock. No shock at all. During an appearance this past Friday, I portrayed a fictional character and played the role of the antagonist, no different than what other actors would do in a movie or TV show. That character does not reflect my personal views, and I apologize to anyone that may have been offended by this skit. I have an incredible amount of respect for the great people of Iran, and I am very proud of my Iranian heritage. Thank you. Unfortunately, some people took advantage of this despite it being pure entertainment. Some threats were made against my life. I wanted to put this statement out to clarify where I am as a person stand compared to my TV character. Yeah. So, yeah, given the long-standing hatred between Iran and Saudi Arabia, this seems to be the catalyst for the death threats. So, people just not understanding what's TV and what's not. But the problem is that's in a culture that doesn't have TV. There are some things that I don't think the WWE put a lot of thought into when it comes to this Saudi Arabia show. And it's far from just not having women on the show. It's beyond that. It's, number one, breaking an agreement, a business agreement, with the Saudi Arabian General Sports Authority. But it's also not really clearly understanding where you are going and what would be considered good and bad. What can you do there, entertainment-wise, in a country that never seen entertainment? Never seen entertainment. What can you and can you not do in this country where entertainment is foreign? You want to talk about kayfabe. There is no kayfabe. Everything there, it's entertainment to them, but it's as real as anything will be. They are not privy to the boys in the back. They don't know the doghouse. They don't know the terms of faces and heel. It's entertainment. Purely plain and simple. And you need to be aware of what you can and can't do in this country whose culture is so seeped in religion. And yes, they are progressing out of it. This is 70% of the population is under the age of 30. They're trying to accept more progressive views. Women are going to start driving in 2 months from now, I believe. Yes, you are entering a country that is going through a cultural shift, a generational shift, but it has not taken that shift yet. It is still cemented in its roots. Roots that would never allow people like you into their nation, regardless if you were there to perform or get a glass of water. You need to understand, if you're writing this show and doing this show, How will it be accepted by those people? Not just the people, by the government itself. That's who you're appeasing here. The people are going to come in, period. They're going through a generational and cultural social shift. They're going to take part in it. You don't need to sell to them. You're selling to the government. You're selling to the General Sports Authority. You're selling to the religious leaders. You're also selling to the princes. You're selling to the royal family. You're selling to them, not the people. People already bought into it. You've already got their money. People are going to be forcing to put their money in there because the government tells them to. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're putting on TV. There. You don't have to make this kind of tremendous, grand thought process when it comes to the UK. That's not a problem. India? Maybe not. China? Yeah, you're going to have to do a little bit of thinking when it comes to China. But this hostile environment, this country that's shifting, and very quickly, mind you, they're shifting at a rapid pace. You need to tread lightly, and you need to double and triple check everything you're going to be putting on in their country, whether it'll be viable and acceptable to their country before the shift even occurs. You better be freaking thankful that you're even allowed to be there. When I saw this segment on the Greatest Royal Rumble, I was incredibly scared because I really thought something was going to happen. Really bad. Something bad was going to happen. Whether it be government officials jumping the barricade and going into the ring, whether it be stuff happening within the crowd. I mean, stuff like that is not cool. Okay, especially when the government's involved and they're the ones that you're trying to appease. This is not Puerto Rico, to where Bruiser Brody is getting stabbed by fans. This is where your company is invited into a country going through tremendous shifts. And whatever happens that might happen in the crowd or come into the ring is warranted. It's not a madman with a knife. It is warranted officials with the backing of their government preventing and doing worse, putting the kibosh on your show or detaining your performers. You need to think twice about what you're doing in this country. You need to seriously think about it. Hire a historian. I know you've got translating staff. You've got that. Maybe a former diplomat. There are plenty to choose from. And I'm not talking a head of state. I'm not trying to get political here. But hire members of the staff that would be at the embassy of Saudi Arabia. Former members. To help you through this. Because this is a serious undertaking that they're doing with the WWE in Saudi Arabia. This is very, very serious. A lot of money to be had. A lot of social acceptance to be made. But really bad stuff can come from it. So, there again, that's I need to get off the soapbox here and get back to more fun stuff. Sorry about that. Just had to air that out. Look who is the Republican candidate for Knox County Mayor in Tennessee. Glenn Jacobs won the primary last night. Last night's Republican primary in Knox County, Tennessee, won the primary by 17 votes. Knox County Election Commission did announce that a few provisional ballots remain, so the official results of the primary won't be revealed until next week. But so far, he's won. 43 provisional ballots have still yet to be counted. A provisional ballot is used when there are questions about a voter's eligibility. 38 of them had no record of voter registration. 4 had no photo ID. 1 had to vote by paper ballot due to an issue with the electronic system. Election officials say it's unlikely that not all of the provisional ballots will be valid. They will be counted on Thursday. Jacobs was interviewed yesterday
about his win, saying people showed up. Together we won tonight. Together we are going to see how great Knox County can be working together. So, safe to say, Kane is not going to be on television for a while. Safe to say, Kane is retired. Safe to say, Kane is going to be in the Hall of Fame next year. I say this now because this is Glenn Kane Jacobs' new job. This is it right here. He's done with the WWE. He's done. No more. This is what he's doing now. Even if he does not win the general election next year. Well, I'm sorry, this year. Even if he doesn't win the general election this year, he is now a prominent face in politics in that local area. This is his new calling. Well, it's kind of been his calling. He's kind of been a libertarian, and he's had an insurance business there in that area, but this is his new thing. He's no longer in the wrestling gig. He's done. And I'm not saying he's going to make some cameo appearances and do a match against The Undertaker or anything like that. No, this is what he's doing now. That's it. None. Finito. Done. It would be fabulous. I really think that he will be in the Hall of Fame next year. Hall of Fame next year. Just calling him Glenn Jacobs. They can call him Kane and everything, but he's going to have he's got an important thing coming up. Now he's going for mayor. Yeah. So this is the last time you're going to see him as Kane. He's done with that stuff. That's my 2 cents on that. Oh, look who's coming back from injury soon. Later this month, PW Insider said today that Jason Jordan is expected to make a return to the ring for the WWE later this month as part of the Raw brand and could be back on the road as early as next week. He reported early February Jordan underwent successful surgery to repair his neck, an injury that was described as minimally invasive operation to decompress the nerve to allow it to heal. So there you go. So he's coming back later this month. Sure. Sounds good. Pairing him up against Gable, or maybe have him go one-on-one against Gable. Yeah, you can do that. Don't see why not. Excuse me. Had to adjust there. Or you could have this lead to Kurt Angle's demise as GM. Fantasy booking. Can't help it. Fantasy booking. I can't help it, okay? But most of the time I'm right. That's how I roll. And finally, Chris Jericho is scheduled to make his return to New Japan this week. He appeared in the Greatest Royal Rumble. And according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, he's making an appearance this week. We'll set up a storyline for another appearance for New Japan at next month's Dominion event in Osaka, where he's likely going to be going up against the IC champ Tetsuya Naito. Jericho stated publicly on Twitter that he was finished up with New Japan, so it would appear that he was swerving the fans the last few weeks about a possible return. Jericho became involved with New Japan, blah, 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 blah. Jericho is always good at working. He's always been good at working. But sometimes I think he works too hard or too much. Maybe you just don't need to say anything. Maybe you just play your rock and roll music. Just play your rock and roll music and do that. That seems to be the gig. Don't do game shows. Don't do reality shows. You don't really need to put your name out there that much. I mean, how much brand recognition are you afraid that you've lost? You don't have to say much. Everyone already knows you. Seriously. It's more of a sign of insecurity to me than anything else that you're doing all of that. Don't really need to. News on the injury front was of Jason Jordan coming back from his neck injury. That will be, again, according to PW Insider, this month. Sure. Sounds good. It was just a nerve problem. Just had to decompress. Sure thing. Dean Ambrose is not scheduled for September of this year. It looks like it's going to be a lot earlier, probably be around June. Neville still under contract dispute. He's still on the roster page. Noam Dar knee injury coming back this month. Alicia Fox with a broken tailbone. She's going to be back around SummerSlam. Maurice had a baby in her belly. It's been taken out. When's she going to be coming back? Epico Cologne had shoulder surgery for cleanup. We don't know when he'll be back. Samir Singh with a torn ACL. He should be back around Survivor Series. Tamina, torn rotator cuff, is out until SummerSlam. Part of that incredibly overflowing female roster on SmackDown. We might see her going to Raw when she comes back and be really out of place. And finally, Bobby Fish with a torn ACL and MCL. He should be back sometime after SummerSlam. And that is all the news on the news front and the injury front. Man, did that make no sense whatsoever. We are drinking Scotch Ale from Full Steam Brewery, just down the road from me, over in Concord, North Carolina. We're about halfway through this sucker. Yeah, about halfway through this sucker of 32 ounces. It's about 3 beers at an 8.4 ABV. We are drinking this in celebration of Greatest Royal Rumble, going perfecto, going 9-0. 16-11 overall is the record since WrestleMania, where I stunk horribly. And so, I figured I did so well because I put consequences on myself. I put myself out there on a limb so that I pay the price for being wrong, which I wish a lot of people in pro wrestling media and pro wrestling journalism would do. If you get stuff wrong, you write addendums. You retract. They don't do that. Don't do it at all. But for me, I hold my own feet to the fire. If I'm wrong about something, I own up to it. If I'm incorrect about something, I admit it. I face the facts. Take responsibility for it. And so that's what I am doing with not that. No, that's Chris Jericho. We're not talking about that. We are talking about, where are you? This. That? No, not that. Live TV. Gotta love it. There we go. We're going to talk about this. There we go. We're talking about the card for Backlash. I believe we got 7 matches that are going on in this. 7 matches. And so here's the deal. Let me scroll up and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 matches. 8 matches on the card. All right. It's about the same as Greatest Royal Rumble. It was 9. All right, for Backlash, I gave 5 locks for the Greatest Royal Rumble, so we're going to do 4 locks for Backlash. Here's what we're going to do. Making our predictions and our fantasy booking capabilities, because I'm really good at them, and I love hearing about what your reactions would be and what your suggestions would be on what they're going to do. 8 matches for Backlash. 4 of them I will make as locks. For each lock that I get wrong, I will do a shot of tequila. Said I would do it. Didn't have to do it this time around. We went perfect. So we're celebrating. So, 4 locks out of 8 matches, and here we go. U.S. Champ Jeff Hardy is going to be defending against Randall Keith Orton. Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things because only Randy Orton knows how to do Randy Orton things. If you see other people doing Randy Orton things, please notify Randy Orton so those people who are not Randy Orton are not doing Randy Orton things because Randy Orton only does Randy Orton things. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just enamored by Jeff Hardy's face. He's got a lot of arcs going everywhere. He has a lot of sharp arcs going around him, where Randy Orton is very square-headed, very polygonal. All right, what are we going to do here? Orton versus Hardy for the U.S. title. Hardy's going to retain. Hardy will retain. Will it be clean? I'm not sure. It could be clean. Not sure if it's going to be clean, though. Randy Orton is way better as a heel, so I can absolutely see him DQing. I could see that happening. It could be a count out. I don't know, but I do see a DQ happening probably. Randy Orton swerve, Hardy keeps the title. I know Hardy will retain. Is my lock on that. Hardy will retain. By hook or crook, clean or dirty. That's what's happening there. Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We're going to rehash a fun little match that we had 2 weeks ago, and we're going to have it again. I will take Owens and Zayn on this one because something's going to happen between Lashley and Strowman. Just is. It's just going to happen. Okay, something's going to happen. If I'm wrong on this one, it's only because the switch is going to happen between Owens and Zayn. But no, I absolutely see Owens and Zayn winning this one. We are going to have a rift between Strowman and Lashley. That is going to be very fun to watch. And very, very interesting to watch. So you're going to bring Bobby Lashley back to the WWE and pit him against your mega molten lava hot babyface in Braun Strowman. You better not make this an honor fest. You cannot make this respect filled. Someone needs to be bad. Someone needs to be good. Okay. The problem is, you're not going to get that between Strowman and Lashley. There's going to be a tweener somewhere, and that tweener is Strowman. Lashley is going to be straight under the rug. And you can think that Lashley will go heel, but people don't even remember who he was. They don't even remember if he was a face or not. He never ever went heel. He stayed as a face, but he never spoke. He's just a strong guy that did things. It's not as much the result of this and the prediction that I'm making from this match. It's what I'm looking forward after this. I am really, really scared for Lashley on this one. Okay, Strowman is lava hot. Okay, I am not worried about him at all. But if you're bringing Lashley back, what is the purpose of bringing him back? Okay, what is his purpose on your television show? What is his purpose on your television show? What is his character supposed to be? I know it's been only 2 weeks. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks that he's been on the show. And he's come back to the main roster. But we're trying to figure out what the heck he's supposed to be. He cannot be the explosive strong man. You've already got that. So, and he's not diabolical heel. There's no way in hell you can paint him as a heel of any kind. The only way they can do this is making this an honor respect fest, or Strowman going on the between line. And Strowman has been towing that between line for so long. But he doesn't need to use a chair or anything like that. He doesn't need to do that. He only does it when it's allowed. So I've got a feeling that, again, it'll be Owens and Zayn winning. Strowman and Lashley will butt heads, and it will be instigated by Strowman. This will lead to a Strowman-Lashley match later down the line that will never come to a resolution. It won't. They can't afford to have a Strowman-Lashley program coming to a resolution. They can't. Lord, no. You've got too much at risk. You cannot do that. Absolutely, absolutely cannot do that. So, Owens and Zayn over Strowman and Lashley, no lock on that one. Daniel Bryan, Big Cass. This is an interesting one. This is a really, really interesting one. I could go 2 different routes. 2 different routes. If Daniel Bryan wins, how do you have him win? Is it by count out or DQ? Well, Daniel Bryan and his character is not one to DQ. You can see Big Cass DQing and Daniel Bryan picking up the win. If Big Cass were to win, how would he win? Daniel Bryan would never do the DQ. He would never do that. Maybe by count out. Big Cass beats Daniel Bryan down so bad that he can't get back in the ring. Maybe. You could have it go to a draw. Double count out. Maybe. But this is a tough one. And why in the hell is Daniel Bryan taller in this picture than Big Cass? They are not supposed to be, like seriously. He's taller than, why? How is that possible? WWE, your logic, come on. You said Cass was 7 feet. What the fuck is Daniel Bryan, 7'2"? I'll take Daniel Bryan in the win for the DQ. Big Cass is definitely one to, slug him with a chair, kick him in the nuts, something like that. I'll take Daniel Bryan in a dirty win. Yep, that's what I'll take right there. Do I want to lock it? Yeah, I'll lock that. Daniel Bryan with the win. Lock. I think it's warranted. Carmella defending her title against Charlotte Flair. Daniel, maybe he's hurt, but he's not DQ win. Well, maybe. Nah, but I'm still buying the Big Cass DQ Daniel Bryan win. Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Carmella defending that title. Oh, absolutely. Carmella retains. Lock that baby down. Absolutely. You cannot have Charlotte take this title back and it becomes so bland. You can't do that. No. Carmella with the lock. That's a no-brainer. There's so much stuff you can do with Carmella as champion. You can have it go with Charlotte, have her win by have her win by count out, have her win by pulling the tights, feet on the ropes, carry that on. It leads to an Asuka feud. But also Charlotte Flair, you can have her combating against a soon-to-be turning Becky Lynch. You could have the Riot Squad can come in here somehow, have them backing up Carmella. There's a lot of stuff that can happen with this, with Carmella as champion. If Charlotte becomes champion, it is bland. It is boring. It is going to be rough. So, Carmella retaining, lock that puppy down. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. I would almost put this as a lock for Nia Jax to retain. But I'm not sure if she's going to really retain. Alexa Bliss has not been on TV in the past 2 weeks physically. She's been there in the form of videos and not really doing much. Nia Jax has been showing up but not really performing. She's been there physically, but she's been there to smile and raise the hand of Ember Moon or Ronda Rousey or someone else there. Nia Jax retains. All I can really see is Natalya and Ronda Rousey and Mickie James all playing parts in this match, but Nia Jax retains. So there's that. Intercontinental title, Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Do I do this as a lock? Because this looks like a no-brainer. Seth Rollins retaining against The Miz. Do I do a lock on this one? Yeah, we'll lock this puppy down too. Seth Rollins will retain against The Miz. Doesn't really matter how. Take your pick. I see him going clean. I see it being squeaky clean. Squeaky clean. It doesn't hurt The Miz at all. He's not on that show. Doesn't hurt Seth Rollins. He's not on that show. Pretty simple. Squeaky clean. Seth Rollins over The Miz. AJ Styles versus Fist to Dick Shinsuke Nakamura in a no DQ match. Ooh. So do you have AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, past Backlash not involving the title? And if so, but apart from that, would you have Shinsuke have the title and continue this program? And if it's supposed to be AJ Samoa Joe when AJ retains the title, what does that leave for Shinsuke? What will he do? Daniel Bryan, well, he's got the program with Big Cass that's going to prolong past the DQ win tonight. So what do you do? Can't be against Randy Orton. Could have him with Jeff Hardy. There you go. Found it. It's always great when you talk through what you got. AJ Styles retains in this match. Shinsuke will go on to do something with Jeff Hardy. That'd be interesting. That'd be very, 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 very interesting indeed. And finally, the main event. This is the main event of the show. Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. This is really, really difficult to pick. Very, very difficult to pick. Okay. If Samoa Joe wins, how does that make Roman look on Raw? Everything he says is null and void. Everything he basically says is null and void right now. They're just trying to paint this Greatest Royal Rumble match as a fluke in that Brock won. Because of ref, because of feet. But this match here, I don't know. Samoa Joe wins. It destroys Roman's character, but by God, we thought that his character was destroyed after WrestleMania. If Roman Reigns wins, how does that make Samoa Joe look on SmackDown as a beast going after AJ Styles? I'll take Samoa Joe. I'll take Samoa Joe in this win. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be a dirty way. It's going to be a dirty finish somehow. There may be a run-in of some kind. Who would run in? I don't know. You could have Brock Lesnar's music play and Paul Heyman just appear and Roman Reigns gets distracted. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. But I just cannot imagine Roman going over Samoa Joe with all of the work that they've done building up Joe's character on SmackDown. If he is to be the ultra badass mega heel on SmackDown, they cannot have him going down to Roman clean. Could be by DQ, and that's kind of what I'm counting here. I'm kind of counting that Roman is going to lose his cool, or he's going to be distracted, or something nefarious is going to happen. And that protects both of them. So I'll take Samoa Joe over Roman Reigns. Hook or crook, it doesn't matter. Taking that over them. So you got my 4 locks. You got my 8. We're going to go perfect again. We're going to be 24-11 on these pay-per-views because, man, do I know these things. And if I don't, so help my liver. All right. It's match time. Match times. Take a drink. Time for the match. I got to make sure that I have all these damn things ready. Yeah, we do. Very good. So, before I dip into this match, I want to take a very quick break. I need to stretch a little bit for being in this chair. You might hear me grumble a little bit. Also need to take a little break from drinking all the beer. Go to the bathroom real quick. But when I come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the match we're about to watch here. Going to settle in and hunker down because I'm sure this is going to be a fun one of Big Van Vader versus Keiji Mutoh from 91. Give my thoughts on Dave Meltzer, the Dark Overlord, and the differences between the 5 stars that he gave nearly 20 years ago and the 5 stars that he's giving now. I'm going to talk a little bit about that before we cue up the match. But in the meantime, enjoy this animation of Awesome Kong eating the turkey leg. And I'll be right back. Hang tight. And we're back. Hey, hi there. Sorry about that if you heard me grimacing or stuff like that. Can't help it, sorry. Back problems. So, I now picture Nia eating a turkey because of Alexa. Well, who knows? We may get that. Who knows? As long as Nia keeps the title until Survivor Series. Well, maybe she doesn't, but who knows? Okay, so, this match. Big Van Vader versus Keiji Mutoh. This is day 3 of the G1 Climax in 91. First off, this match was taken via home camera at the show. Okay? Reason I bring up this point is there was no internet in 1991. How did Dave Meltzer get a hold of this footage? It was not done by New Japan. This is done by a fan. Okay? This is kind of what amazes me with this is so Meltzer has this match as 5 stars, and granted I'm sure he saw it there then in 91. I'm not doubting that at all. Not doubting it at all. My question though is, so back then when he was giving all these ratings, these 5-star ratings and 4 3/4, blah, 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 even doing 6-star ratings and shit like that, he was doing them with matches that were hard to find, that were not really provided by the federations or organizations themselves. This is the first one I found that gave the 5-star treatment by Dark Overlord Meltzer that was not provided by an organization in order to promote themselves. He literally had to find this. There was no internet back then, so he had to find a VHS copy of this, or broadcast it somewhere, or saw it somewhere, and rated this and said that it was a great match. So, my question is not how did he do that? Not how did Meltzer get this footage? But why isn't he taking that same stance now? Thanks to the internet, you can find anything. Everything is out there. You can reach out to anyone and anything. By God, you've built a brand for yourself, Dark Overlord. Anyone will allow you into their organization and look at all of their archives. It doesn't matter. So I don't understand how it seems that he now has gotten lazy when it comes to the matches that he ranks as 5 stars. Because I'm sure there's got to be some 5-star matches that he would say are 5-star matches that are not mainstream, that are not New Japan, that are not NXT, that are not WWE, are not All Japan that was on broadcast TV back in the 90s. It's not Noah. It's not... Take your pick. True independent stuff that is hard to find, I'm sure, can rank up to his 5-star treatment. So, I guess I don't understand how what the purpose of his 5-star ratings are. I've always come to the conclusion that the reason for his 5-star ratings are to promote something. Okay? Capitalistic scumfuck talking. It's got to be to promote All Japan, to promote Noah, to promote New Japan, to promote specific talents within NXT. Could be to promote certain people affiliated with the talents in WWE and NXT to give them notoriety. That's why they do it. That's why New Japan and some of these other federations and organizations mention Meltzer 5-star matches. There's a reason why they do it. It's to promote themselves. So, why aren't other federations reaching out to Meltzer? Or why isn't he going out to other federations? Why isn't he taking advantage of this cash cow money grab? I certainly would be. Oh man, would I be making a killing? I would make an absolute killing. Now, granted, he wouldn't give every match a 5-star that an organization was paying him to watch, but he'd give them a decent enough rating and put them on the map somehow. But that's what I'm taking from this. This is a match in 1991 taken by home camera in a Japanese sumo hall. This is a sumo hall, by the way. Okay, there's sumo hall. Okay. That's what I'm taking from this. So, we're going to sit back. We're going to watch this. Understand how did he get 5 stars from this? But more importantly, just kind of bury back in your mind, how did he get a hold of this? No internet. How did he get this? It had to have been because promoting through New Japan. Keep that in mind. As we sit back, take a sip. Can't necessarily sit back because then I will be screaming in pain. But Big Van Vader versus Keiji Mutoh. Day 3 of the G1 Climax of New Japan Pro Wrestling on August the 9th, 1991. 5-star treatment by Dark Overlord Meltzer. And here we go. Coming to the ring first. Okay, someone's coming. And there he is. Keiji Mutoh. A very young Keiji Mutoh. He has already introduced his, let me turn down the noise volume on this. He has already introduced his great Muta character. He introduced it in 1990. So, it's already apparent. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, there he is. There he is, that monster. No announcers, by the way. Of course, it's home camera. Look at that. Uh-oh. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Look at the getup of the ring announcer.
Big Van Vader!
Whee! This might be a little difficult to watch because of the footage, but still. Well, Vader taking off the mask. I am glad that they went with clean-cut Keiji Mutoh instead of Great Buddha for this one. I can only imagine. Well, you can understand why they didn't go with the Great Buddha getup for this one. You've already got one monster in there. You don't need two. When I mean monsters, I mean attractions. You need to have clean cut versus ugly. Oh, okay. Oh, look at Vader's selling like a champ. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Tracking. Tracking. Go to the outside. Yes. It's good. It's good. This is already shaping up to be like the classic David versus Goliath. Never to think that the clean-cut David would be a very gruesome David, if he wanted to be.
かわいそうになってきちゃった。なんかいじめの世界やね、UWF から一人にされてしまって。毎回かわいそうだった。いじめの世界で終わりに触ってから誰もいないと思って。毎回今になんかやりそうな気するんだ。夏飲み屋に練習生ついてて喧嘩の向かって顔を教えたりして。そうしたら喧嘩の上や。なんぞあの人。
Well, he must have gone out to the ring to beat him up.長野と橋本がさ、やったらさ、絶対両方ともどっちが勝っても傷つくじゃん。そうそうそう。ベイダーがそうそう。
Nice sneak back. Do it again. Moonsault. Nice. Whoops. Whoa. None of that shit. This already seems like a very, very good paint by numbers WWF WWE match. Ooh. Squash. This is a match that could easily pass off as WWF for 91. I mean, this is great. It destroys the argument that Meltzer makes that every federation has a different style. Oh, powerbomb his ass. Listen to that crowd. They're booing closed fists. Oh. Something was supposed to happen there. Now we're going to get what was supposed to happen. Crowd is super red hot. Whoa, huh? Okay. Nope. Whoa! Oh, it's good. That's a good finish. That's a good finish. Oh, it's great. They're tossing all the cushions in there. That was fantastic. Oh, that was great. 5 stars absolutely for the finish. That's great. Okay. There's a little botch in there. I would have dropped it down to 4.5. There! Ah, shucks. It's good by Vader. Ah, shucks. Wow. Wow. That was fun. It's probably the most fun I've had watching one of Overlord Meltzer's 5-star matches. And I think that has a lot to do with him, how did he get this match? Did he get it by the mail, or was he actually in Japan to see this? No. But I kind of saw what that match was going to be. Oh, yeah, I was recommended Shibata versus Nakamura. But, yeah, that was a nice fun little match. Yeah. I'm just kind of interested how he got a hold of the footage of that match. Because there's nothing from New Japan involving that match on their websites or anything. So, without the power of the internets, how did he get a hold of that? And what was the purpose of getting a hold of it and saying that it was a 5-star match? I don't know. Food for thought. But that's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. I'm Doug Lackey. Glad you could join me for this. We will have this show uploaded on YouTube for you to check out. Always check it out, video on demand. I will be with Adam Martin Sunday night following Backlash, going over all of the shenanigans that are happening on that show. We'll be going over my horrible predictions. Horribly not. I appreciate it, Andrew. Not a problem, man. I was really interested in trying to find it. It was on the list. But anyway, find us on YouTube and on the Facebooks, WrestleView's Facebook page and WrestleView's YouTube page. Adam and I will be on there probably about 5 or 10 minutes after Backlash to review it, recap it, going over all the stupid stuff. And you can catch me here next week, hopefully not in so much pain as I am right now. And yeah, I'm right now trying to find a match and trying to tease a little bit of what I might put on there. I think I want to dip more into the matches that did not make 5-star. That'd be just me. I think I might dip into stuff a little more stateside. We'll go ahead and put it that way. Maybe find some Ring of Honor. Maybe find some PWG. See what happens. I'll find something. If you've got an idea of something you would like for me to check out, direct message me at Doug WrestleView. I'll check it out. See if it's good enough. Put it on the show. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun, right? Yep. Anyway, I'm Doug. That's the show, and I will catch you all on Sunday.